Congratulations to AmaLee on joining VShojo, though it does seem to cause quite unwanted noise online. Hello there, how's it there? Ame Gakita there. So obviously today on the show we'll be focusing on VShojo. Though it seems to be like a lot of people questioning like why does AmaLee joining VShojo seems to cause problem online. Well, it's actually more so that it is because AmaLee is joining, and in a way when you kind of look at the past record of VShojo, it is not unheard of, especially considering that people who is kind of like maybe they can be an anti, they can be a hater, or people who just skeptical about VShojo audition along the line will be questioning the legitimacy of the VShojo audition. But when you kind of like look at a lot of situations, you can't really say that maybe the way VShojo could have handled might be should be better along the line, but asking their talent to handle it kind of like beg the question like who is actually the one working for the company along the line. Now, that being said, who is AmaLee? Well, anyone who knew AmaLee, well, I would not show her real face, but it's actually she is before becoming a VTuber, will know her for her singing career as well as her voice acting career. Now, it's really kind of like when you have a following for being a voice actor, be a singer, obviously you really kind of like be considered one of the big name out there. And she was not a VTuber beforehand, considering that she only became one within recent years. So when you have a big following and then you decided to say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna be a VTuber along the line. And she became one, and then she decided to out of nowhere join a VTuber agency, which in a way I think is considered a good thing if she doesn't want to like consider to have all those problematic self-management thing like scheduling, merchandise issue. Most VTuber would love to do those. So obviously if they can't do it themselves, who is the best way to do? Either you get a company to do it or you join a VTuber company. Now, obviously, for her case, as she mentioned, I believe that she was feeling burnt out. So joining a VTuber agency was the best option up there. And joining VShojo, considering that she get to keep her name, her every persona along the line, I think that's the best way to go, considering that it will only not only benefit herself but also the company. But now here's the issue: it also benefit the company. Now, it is not unheard of when you look at the past history of VShojo, when they hired like past people who used to be part of big company like Nijisanji or Hololive, and consider the names like Kuro or Madara or Michi, or even like for the JPs like K-Son or Henya, obviously we will be wondering like, do VShojo only hire the best one out there instead of asking like trying to find new talents, considering that Dokeeper herself do highlight that there is a lot of hidden gem within the VTuber community, and obviously when you want to like grow big, you want to sometimes find the hidden gem. Like not much people knew about Fuamoko, and it's only when they joined Hololive that it became so widespread that people like them more. So it really does showcase that while there are a lot of hidden gems around, it doesn't mean that they get shine out there. It's only when they join a big company like Hololive or Nijisanji or even VShojo that people know who they are, and then if they do graduate, people will try to follow them. And considering that VShojo do hire like K-Son or Madara and such who used to belong to big name company, obviously you'll be wondering like, do they only hire past people who used to be popular or people with big names, and then only get those people who is well known, who is already a jewelry, a diamond, or whatever you want to call it, already a polished gem, then trying to find hidden gem? Well, if you actually look at VShojo record, they do have some. It's just that people tend to forget about them, or people just don't want to highlight who they are. But when you kind of like look at big name, people tend to look at the main focus. So I can't really blame people for looking at that, because it does seem to be that way. And when you kind of like look at before AmaLee recruitment, you do look at like Madara or Kuro, and you kind of like be wondering like, the moment they graduate from their company, the previous company, and then they join VShojo, is like, They don't need to go through an audition. They don't need to go through with anything. They just out of nowhere debut, and it really kind of like caused a lot of people to talk about it. But you really have to understand that even if there is such a case, it doesn't mean that hey, maybe they aren't looking out for new people. Considering that one of their talents, Zanzeria, do try to get hidden gem, and the audition really kind of like showcased that the audition, they wanted to try to see whether is there any hidden gem out there, anyone that's which they in their own word resonate with their talents and may be able to join them in a way. If there is one such people, obviously they will want them to join them along the line or be part of their family, and I think that would be a good thing. But considering that this whole ordeal where AmaLee joined VShojo, it seems like in my own word, the timing is just bad. It is really bad timing because last time they do the application and it was happening last year, mid of last year, in July, and considering that it's only like up to now it's only like 6-7 months only. Obviously, people will be questioning like, did she join VShojo after she passed the audition? If there is such a case, there will be people in what Rima-san would be saying, will you still join a RIP competition, a RIP tournament? Because you spend all your effort, your time to join the audition, to hope that you can be part of VShojo, only to out of nowhere you got a person who is well known join VShojo. Well, in a way, it does seem to showcase that the company, again, I believe, as per Armchair did highlight in his tweet about the PR strategy, and I think in my own way, I would say it happened on the wrong timing. Now, I will explain the wrong timing in a while, but the reason why it's considered a PR bad problem is that Zanzeria have to highlight that AmaLee joining VShojo was not part of the audition from last year, and that AmaLee have to highlight that she was already trying to join VShojo. It's just that the timing was not good at that time. Like, she was joining VShojo for 1.5 years ago. So when you kind of look at this whole ordeal, it does seem like maybe AmaLee was under some sort of other contract that she can't join, or maybe she have to do something that and the company seems to be highlighting that. But in the way, again, like I mentioned, the timing seems to be very, very wrong. So the reason why I would say it happened just on the wrong timing is that if AmaLee was announced to join VShojo, it either has to be right during the moment when audition is happening, and that the company VShojo have to highlight that AmaLee will be joining VShojo and that she is not part of the audition. It means that the audition is still running. While the audition is still running, she joined and she be part of VShojo. I think maybe people will be like a bit skeptical, but at least they know that while the audition is still running, it means that she already part of it already, so it won't crash, even if it seems to crash. Now, secondly, it would have to be better if she actually debut or consider joining after the so-called new wave is out. And obviously, when you have a new wave is out, people will be saying like, hey, they know that VShojo already have their own new talents, they have their new group, new generation, or whatever you call it, and then they out now decide to have one more new one. Then I think that should be fine. It's just that it happened in between, and that to me is considered a wrong timing. And more so ever, like even for the new talents along the line, like if we go back to the part of like a rig competition, again, a lot of people are skeptical about who they are hiring. Are they really going to hire like people with like just following, or will they hire with people who is just new to VTubing, or it's just maybe people who is couldn't stream to more than 10 people? Who knows? Now, that being said, it's really one of the things that we have to sit down and ask VShojo, like, are they doing the right step, or are they just going with the flow? If they're going with the flow, maybe the flow they are going with is affecting them in a bad spotlight. And I think as well, Armchair really do highlight in the best way ever, considering that it's really kind of like not like he said, was it to a smart decision to drop when other talents is in the work No, it just seems like there is no form of confirmation to know who is the new talents will be, and to me, I think that's caused a lot of people to hate on VShojo, thinking that there is no new talents, and that it is very likely that they only are trying to recruit only big names, people who only benefit them by bringing more view, bringing not more money. So in a way, when you kind of consider it like, is it their fault? I think VShojo need to highlight that they should be the one saying it, not their talents, not AmaLee saying like they didn't know she's gonna join, or even like the one who say that she have to clarify that she is AmaLee was not part of the audition. Like they have to be the one to highlight not the talents. So by involving the talents, obviously people will be attacking the talents in some form, or even making joke about the talents, saying that all the talents are big name and that there is no small hidden gem. So in a way, it's really kind of like look bad for VShojo. However you look at it, it may be considered L on many ends, but to me, if they actually place the timing correctly, I think it won't be that bad. It's just at the end of the day, it's just a bad timing, it's just a bad situation, and that this will be one of the longest wait and see approach, because the thing is, right, even if they do debut new talents, a lot of people need to understand that there is the case that people will go and do a hunting or be a detective somehow, or be a CIA, FBI, whatever you want to call them, because they will go onto the internet to try to find who is the hidden gem. Imagine that if they go to check out on some of the talents past live, and the talents used to be having like maybe 10,000 subscriber or 10,000 followers, and that doesn't mean they are small. It just means that they just kind of like have a following already, and maybe they just join VShojo and say that, hey, we are new, but in fact they already kind of like have a established base, a base community along the line. So either way, it will not look good on VShojo. So the best way VShojo have to handle it is that they really try to see when they're going to release the new wave. It may take weeks, it may take months, we can never know, but at the end of the day, VShojo really have to handle this carefully, because a lot of people is really skeptical about it, and that if VShojo do end up releasing a new audition again, I think the number of applications will still be there, but it won't be as much as possible. Even like some of the people who like consider a hidden gem won't even consider VShojo as a option to join, because they will be knowing that, hey, the competition is rigged, the competition is just kind of like they already have a clear understanding of who they're gonna have within their VShojo line, along the line, who knows. But at the end of the day, it really does not look good on VShojo. But does it mean that everyone should start attacking the talents? No. I think AmaLee joining VShojo at the end of the day, while giving a little bit of carrot after the stick, you have to understand that AmaLee was suffering from a bit of burnout, if anyone who follow her will know that. So for her to ensure that she is going to ensure that her following will have merchandise or anything that is related to her stuff, at least someone like a company able to do it for her, I think joining VShojo might be the better option up there instead of her doing it herself. And I mean, like, a lot of these VTuber, over more than not indies, have an issue is especially trying to find a company to release merch for the followers. So there is a lot of previous case where a lot of company couldn't manage to do the merch release. Some company end up just being a so-called scam company along the line. So if they have a company like VShojo to do it for them, I think that would be great, especially for AmaLee. It will benefit her more as well. But the only thing is, right, again, back to the issue of like the company VShojo, they need to handle the audition result carefully. And I think that's really the one thing that I can give. I'm not gonna like spoon feed the company on what they should do or what not to do. They got their own company, their own management. They should be aware of what they need to do. But again, at the end of the day, it just showcased that maybe the timing just happened at the wrong time, at the wrong place. Who knows? At the end of the day, that's just my speculative thought. It's just a random chat. Do you think that AmaLee should really her debut should happen way earlier, or should it be considered after the new wave, or maybe that VShojo should really handle this thing in all themselves along the line? Write in the comment section below, we can discuss it further. If not, if you do like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe for more random chat where I talk about stuff that sometimes makes sense, doesn't make sense, or totally random at a time. But the one thing I hope is not random for you guys is have a nice day online. Bye.